Hey guys, this is HerO from DifferenceInSkill, and this is episode 4 of HerO Plays Randoms on Beyond. I'm going to be playing a slightly different Galahad build than I have been playing in previous videos versus NALUKAMI. So yeah, I've been trying for the last week and a half to actually get a game out, but either I forget to record it, either I get double credit, either I get grade stuck, or some other stupid shit happens that doesn't make the game entertaining at all. So yeah, this is finally a half decent game that I got, and of course my starting hand is obviously 2 Morgels, FNO, Alabaster, and a Lane. And this is a quality hand. I'm only missing 3 grades, so it's not a big deal. Put that shit back. This is why we can't have nice things beyond. This is why we can't have nice things. So yeah, I'm gonna mull my whole hand, obviously, because I'd be a fool to keep any of it. And I end up drawing into a decent hand, actually. We'll check it out here. I'm gonna draw into an Alfred, and then a Galahad, grade 1 Galahad, and a Kane, a Moron, and a Palamede. So you know, hand's okay. Can't really complain about that hand. So yeah, I should also be doing a Royal Paladin focused video later on, talking about some misconceptions that people have about the clan compared to other clans such as Gold Paladin. I'd also like to touch on the results of the qualifiers, my thoughts on them. Quite frankly, I'm pretty disappointed. When I see that a qualifier has 50% of the players playing the same deck, not even because it's that good, but just because people hoard to it for some reason, makes me severely disappointed. I mean, it's not a bad deck; it's a good deck. Gold Paladin is a good deck. You have targeted tutoring in the form of Garmor. You have Azel, a decent card. It's not the best card. But for some people have this misconception that the Azel is broken and that the Superior Ride is broken, when, to be honest, Azel is one of like their worst grade 3s, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I'd rather not have a top card of my deck. I'd rather ride a Garmor, so you set up actual field presence that's actually useful. I'd rather have a Spectral Duke, would have that threat of actually finishing off my opponent when they're at 5 damage. I'd rather not ride Azel, which is just a poor use of Counterblast. In my opinion, I can use my Counterblast a lot better than just calling the top card of my deck and hoping that it's a good card. And then people that think that the Superior Ride is broken, I'm just not even going to go on that, because I'm just going to rant on forever. So I'm just going to talk about this game. This game I got the grade 1 Galahad from the Superior Ride. So he attacks, he rides the Starlight Unicorn clone for NALUKAMI, so he ends up swinging for 12, which is a magic number. So I have to let it go, and he ends up getting a draw trigger, and then I damage check my grade 2 Galahad, but it's okay because of my top 5 check. I end up checking, revealing not 1 but 2 grade 2 Galahads. So yeah, pretty good at this game. So I get out two grade 2 Galahads, 2 Galaxian, and in the lane. So I got the free ride once again, so I have +2 to efficiently this game. Pretty easily. And with the Alfred in my hand, I have no need to call a booster behind my Vanguard right now. Instead, to be honest, I don't even have any other rear guards to call except for grade 1s, which is perfectly fine because he's still a grade 1. I'm not going to call a Moron because I know that playing NALUKAMI, I have a chance of playing against an 11k Vanguard. So that Moron is going to be helpful with Akane, it's going to be helpful with Palamedes and swinging for 16 and 21 respectively. So I'm not going to call it and risking the fact that it gets sniped off by something. So I'd rather just, the Galahad, the 7k Galahad is simply just a more expendable card. So he puts it all in the Vanguard. He gets a critical trigger in his damage check. He's not going to guard because he's greedy, and instead I punish him and I get a critical trigger and I put the power and the critical on the Vanguard, so now he has to eat 2 damage, which he's going to do promptly. He damage check the Flipper, the NALUKAMI Flipper, and Photon Bomber Wyvern. So doesn't get any draws, doesn't get any heals. So at this point I'm feeling pretty good about myself. My 3 damage, or his 3 damage to my 1. Even though he did go first, if I can keep myself at 2 damage while he's still at 3 and he goes first, then you're in a pretty good situation, because by going first you let your opponent have the first attack, so you're supposedly supposed to be at more damage than your opponent. Ideally, right? But obviously not always the case. Here I could give him a 10 for 2 to pass. But I decided not to because I do have that Akane in my hand. I do want to be able to use it to set up my field quickly and be able to use be able to hit with Alfred for good numbers right away. So I'm gonna just look at the top 5 cards in my hand. Sorry, of my deck. Look at the top 5 cards of my deck, and I just put them at the bottom because I don't run the Grade 3 Galahad. So there's no point in just since the effect of Grade 2 Galahad is mandatory, then I'm just gonna do this Control T and then just click bottom because it's a lot faster than actually drawing into the cards and then putting them back. So here I move the Galahad back. I call Akane, and this deck is a little different than the ones I ran, like I said before, so I don't actually run Toy Poogle in this one. So I'm just going to put the Pongo behind the Alfred. Now, why behind the Alfred? One, because I have a Moron and a Palamedes here. I don't want to put the Moron behind the Alfred to be able to swing for 20k. Because of the possibility of an 11k Vanguard. Simply here, the Akane was used just simply to be able to have that Pongo for later use for Soul Savior Dragon, and to be able to finish him off. And I'm also not going to put the Pongo behind rear guard spot because I do have the Palamedes there to be able to swing for 21 if need be. So I do get a critical trigger. He damage checks. Didn't see what that card is. And Thunderbreak. Oh, he damage checks a Thunderbreak Dragon and a heal trigger, so he gets another heal trigger. Oh, no, not another one. First one this game. So he's only going to need a 10 for both my rear guards. Akane swinging for 20. And Palamedes, because he's Palamedes, he's swinging for 21 for no reason. So he gives me 2 10s. He apparently has a lot of triggers in his hand because he certainly didn't check those. So he opened with a. It appears that he opened with a pretty subpar hand, as you guys can see. So that's the end of my turn. Beyond starts lagging and he stands and draws. He's gonna ride into. He's gonna ride into Thunderbreak Dragon, I believe. My goodness, why is he taking so long to ride a card? Finally, okay, he rides into Thunderbreak Dragon, and during this part, he actually he flipped both 2 damage to use Thunderbreak's ability, and he targeted my Palamedes. And then after I told him that he could only target a grade 2 or lower, he just decides to not use Thunderbreak's effect. And he unflips his damage. I'm not sure why you would do that. I mean, you could kill a booster, I don't know. Kill a Moron maybe, so I don't swing for 21. But yeah, he decides not to, which is a bad play on his part. I take the Vanguard hit, I get a critical trigger, I put the power on the Vanguard. Naturally. And the Thunderbreak's going to attempt to attack my Alfred, and then he realizes that I'm at 15. So I'm going to attack with the other column first, which is at 17k, because that rear guard is the card that if you have less cards than your opponent in hand, then it gains 3k. So it's 17, so I'm going to intercept with Akane. I'm not going to just take a damage willy-nilly and put myself at 4 damage like that. 4 damage is really on the bubble. So he's going to attack my Palamedes, and nope, worth the 10k, worth the overguard. I'm going to give him 10k because I'm a nice guy. And Palamedes is going to be pretty useful right now because he's at 4 damage. I'm going to be swinging for 20k on his 10k Vanguard, and you know he's on the bubble. He's going to have to probably going to have to take the Vanguard attack, and hopefully I'll be able to get a critical trigger to finish him off. You know, puts him on the bubble basically. And with Palamedes looming down, I mean that's a 15k guard. So, okay, so he's not going to guard. So I check the Grade 2 Galahad, and I check a Galatine. Okay, so no triggers there. And he's gonna get a critical trigger as his damage check. So he's gonna put the power on his Vanguard naturally. And at this point, there's really no point in trying to me attack the Vanguard because he only needs 5k to block. So instead, I'm gonna try to create holes in his field. I'm gonna attack the rear guard. Gonna need 10 to block this, and you know he hasn't been really caught checking any triggers. So he's probably gonna let that die, and then I'm just gonna attack the Vanguard here because he still needs 10k to block this attack because Palamedes is Palamedes and he swings for 21k for no good reason. So he's still gonna need 10k to block this attack, and I noticed that he hasn't checked any triggers. So he's probably gonna drop 2 cards to block this attack. So yeah, he needs 10k. Right, guys, when you guys go to qualifiers, make sure you can do math. He needs 10k shield for that because it's my 21 and his 15. Which he promptly guards. He stands and draws. He has 3 cards left in his hand. And I have 7 difference in hand. And he's going to call Dragonic Death Scythe. He's going to counterblast 2. And he's going to end up destroying the worst thing possible, Akane. Why he chooses to kill Akane will forever be unknown to mankind. Because there's no reason to kill Akane. I just checked 2 attacking rear guards. I just checked 2 grade 2s last turn. I'm not going to be in any shortage of attacking units. What I should have done is killed the Moron maybe, so I don't swing for 21 with the Palamides. Definitely the Moron would be the #1 choice. But instead he kills the Akane for some reason, and yeah. He ends up attacking with the Vanguard. I let it hit, and he ends up checking 2 draw triggers, which is pretty good. Suddenly he has 4 cards more in his hand. And this is a 15k Thunderbreak Dragon, which I'm not going to let hit willy-nilly. I mean, Dragonic Death Scythe is at 20k. Why would I let this hit? And attempt to get a damage trigger so I can guard the Dragonic Death Scythe for 10, when I can just simply guard this attack for 10 and take the 20k attack. And I do end up getting a draw trigger because I'm good at this game. So, yeah. So here I draw into a Moron, and this is a good time to use Pongo's ability to search out for the second Soul Savior Dragon that I have in my deck. I didn't use it the turn before because there was really no point in doing that. I had nothing to replace the Pongo with because you would need another booster behind your Vanguard. So when you do write Soul Savior, you can add the power behind, obviously, in all your boosters. So tutoring the Soul Savior to my hand a turn ago would have been a bad idea because then I would have been swinging for 18 instead of 20, and I wouldn't have the Soul Savior wouldn't be of any use to me, right? So I swing for 20. It's too much for him. I check nothing, but he doesn't get anything. So that's the game. I didn't even have a chance to run the to use a Soul Savior, but everything was set up. I had my Palamides on the side, and I had my Soul Savior, and my Soul ready, and yeah. So that's the game, guys. Thank you guys for watching this HerO from DifferenceInSkill. Just a quick announcement, because I'm starting to go to school again, because it's September, and Chan is going on vacation. Content on the channel will be a little slow, but hopefully you guys bear with us. I'll be trying to put out as many videos as I can with my limited free time. I'll also be doing a Q&A, just me, while Chan is away, just to take advantage of the fact that Chan is away. So yeah, so look forward to that, the Q&A, and the Royal Paladin video. Thank you guys for watching. Here's up.